They want me to change, but I ain't changing. Nah, I remain the same.
And you are now tuned in to another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing. Me and Make Moves and Suckers Stand Still. And as always on the mighty Nerve DJs Radio Network, you already know, man, it's redundancy at its finest. I only fuck with legends around here, and today is absolutely no exception. We got Damizza, and if you have not heard of this man, like just one of the goats of the music industry. Hold on. Let me look at my list before we could really. Okay, Power 30 top 5 3 times, multi-platinum producer, killing the game on Instagram, TikTok, and in your mother's bedroom. This is Damizza. How you doing?
I don't think I've ever had an intro that cool.
Well, you know I've been working on my shit, man.
And, you know, one word you said, redundancy, is another word for consistency, which is my favorite word.
and you are Mr. Consistent. How you doing, man? How's your family?
Man, it is great, man. I can't complain. You know, I seeing this business the way that it is today and being a part of its change has been one of the coolest experiences of my life. And to get the kind of support that I've gotten and to be here talking with people like you, I mean, hey, it's a groove.
Okay, let me start. Are you the old nigga complaining about shit not being the way it used to be?
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
You know what? You know what? It isn't. It isn't even about the business.
Okay.
It's the collaborative effort that everybody's missing. You know, as artists and as people, you know, our best time is spent when we're doing this. You know, when we're communicating with each other and we're vibing and creating something, you know, and when artists are not creating and they're sitting on the bench, then that's when they're up to no good. That's when, you know, the money problems, the drugs, the family stuff, everything catches up with you. So when someone says they're complaining about the way that it used to be, I think it's more complaining about the opportunities that once were to work together. You know what I mean? Because music has always been a collaborative effort. It's always been a jam. You know, going back to, you know, even going back to Johnson and Brown, or James Brown, and you know, the Beatles and Elvis and, you know, Sun Studios and Sony Music and all of these things, is they were big collaborative efforts. You know, people worked together as a team to make something great happen. And that's not happening anymore. You know, the synergy is being created with boxes, you know, it's with electronics.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, I mean, if I was an AI and just said, you know, that interview today, let me just turn on the box, you know, it wouldn't be the same.
It would not.
So
Okay.
when motherfuckers say, they're just thinking about the past and they want it to go back. No, they don't want it to go to the past as far as the business. We want to evolve and take it to the future, but we want it to be a collaborative effort. We want to have this kind of dialogue. You know, this country and this world was made on great debate and compromise. And the difference is people aren't compromising and they're making up a bunch of shit and faking the funk. And that's where the bullshit comes in.
Okay, the biggest story of the year got to be Diddy.
Yeah.
The gazillion bottles of baby oil.
You know, it's absolutely unfathomable. You know, it tells me that you never know anyone.
But is that true? Like you can't tell me that the music industry had no clue that this nigga had 1,000 dildos in his crib.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. A lot of the professionals in the business, like I work at like a 9 to 5. I do my job and go home. You know, I don't I'm not part of that partying rock rap posse. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was oblivious to it. Like, you know, I hear the rumors of every artist. I mean, going back to Led Zeppelin and people gluing furniture in hotel rooms to ceilings. There's always been weird shit happening in the music business. But, you know, you hear these rumors and, you know, I remember, you know, in 97, 98 is when I met Puff.
Okay.
And we came up around the same time. And we did a lot of work together. I mean, my first huge promotion was Puffy backing me for 250 grand and doing a Hawaii show in a hotel room ballroom in Hawaii with 112 Mace, The Locks, Little Kim, you know, I mean everybody. I mean he brought Biggie to one of my events. I mean that's the Diddy that I know. I mean he called my grandma when she was in the hospital and got the nurses to treat her incredible, you know? I mean that's the guy that I know. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
mean I heard the rumors, but I also hear rumors about every, you know, every creative and everybody in this business going back to the Rolling Stones. I mean, is it different than Ike Turner?
Yeah,
I
probably a little
mean,
bit.
maybe a different
Oh,
format, if you will. But
a lot different format.
I mean, okay, Little Richard. Is it any different than Little Richard? You know what I mean? Like,
You might have a
are
point with
those
that one.
eras? I'm not saying specifically. I'm saying, you know, you mix Ike Turner and Little Richard, you got Diddy.
Pretty. That's
But it's the shit that was happening in the business back then.
and the sad part is that everybody has a story to tell once the story's told, but nobody has shit to say until the
Yeah.
shit hits the fan
I
because
I
everybody's
agree.
eating off
Well,
of
look
it.
at Weinstein. Look at Weinstein. Look at I mean, look at it going back to the old MGM studios and you know the casting agents that if the young starlet wasn't a hoe, then they didn't get put in the movies. You know what I mean?
It when was your first? When did Damizza? Personally, when did you say, "Okay, I've made it"?
If I tell you that, uh, okay, I was in New York. I had just started at Hot 97. I woke up in Mariah Carey's house next to her. She was asleep in bed next to me. And I picked up the phone and I checked my voicemail. And there was a voicemail from Jay-Z cussing me out because I didn't call when I got into town. And it was like a system overload. It was like, okay, there's Mariah Carey, there's Jay-Z. Wow, like I'm going to work at Hot 97. We had all of this success at Power 106 and the Dr. Dre and Snoop thing. Yeah, I think that we're doing the right thing.
How do you bag Mariah Carey?
I mean, just like you'd bag anybody else, normal girl,
Oh,
just more famous. And it wasn't even like that. It was more like, you know, we got stuck in a situation where we were together every day. I was helping her rebuild glitter, and we'd end up in the studio, then we'd end up back at her house, then we'd end up asleep. You know what I mean? And then just one thing led to another. So I mean, it was just like anything else that were to happen in life.
although it sounds very normal to the rest of us, but very abnormal to the rest of us. Like it's fucking Mariah Carey, bro. It's a little different. Although I get the whole work relationship thing. The closer you are to a person, the less the person becomes quote unquote famous.
Well, look, we're all human. At
Yeah,
the end of the day, we're all human. We all want to be respected. We all want to be loved. We all want to have these collaborative efforts. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
relationships are collaborative efforts too. You know, consistency and repetition breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds a relationship. A relationship breeds teamwork or synergy, and teamwork wins games. So I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're going to a coffee shop and the baddest bitch on the planet is working behind the desk. The first day you come in, and what do you want to order? I want this coffee. The second day you come in, oh, you want that? Yeah, okay. Third day you walk in, you want another? Yeah. Fourth day you walk in, hey, what's your name? Fifth day you walk in, oh my God, what's your name? You know, sixth day you walk in, hey, let's go grab a coffee somewhere else. Next thing you know, you're smashing. I mean, that's just
Okay,
how life works, right? Consistency and repetition.
yeah,
You're
you got a point.
familiar,
You got a point
familiar,
there.
relationship, we're banging.
Are you? How much pushback are you getting from your Instagram posts from the higher ups?
Let's just say the same way that some people, like you say, want to take it back to that. Some people just want to keep the status quo. You know what I mean? I mean, like for instance, the thing that I was saying about, Universal and making the TikTok deal. They're not real happy that I want them to disclose what the TikTok deal is.
Have they done that?
Oh, of course.
They've disclosed it.
No, they haven't. I mean, but what I'm saying is I misunderstood what you were saying. Yeah, I've been told of their discomfort. Yes. Have they disclosed it? No. And then they went out and did another deal, which was not the TikTok deal, the Instagram deal recently, and they're not saying what that deal was either, because they probably do not benefit musicians at all. They probably benefit the labels. But anytime the labels go in to negotiate with these platforms, like for instance the TikTok thing, they said we're fighting for artist royalties and artist rights. We're taking all of the music as leverage off of your platform. Do you know what I'm saying? So they used us for the leverage and then made the deal with TikTok and then said, you artists, you're dumb. You don't need to know anything. We'll just cut you what you deserve to get. And trust us, we're the record company. We're fighting for your behalf. You know
Okay,
what I
so
mean? Like,
you
come on,
still
bro.
got one foot into the music business.
I'm
Fair.
sorry?
You still have one foot into the music business.
Right now I
Fair.
have 2 feet into the music business, but go ahead.
Okay, so is it like, what do you say to people to say, okay, where you're using your Instagram as leverage to get higher up in the music business? Is that fair?
How could I get any higher in the music business?
I don't know. Maybe you could run a Universal.
Why would I want to run Universal? It's a failing company. If anything, I would start something new.
Speaking of that, you've been talking about doing that.
And that's this morning. I was at meetings all morning about it.
So where are we at with that? Or can you talk about it?
We're almost there. It,
Podcasting,
well, look,
music.
it's all about finding the right partners. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just haven't. I've got to be really careful because there are a lot of people that are very mad at what I'm doing. So the intentions sometimes are sabotage.
Yeah.
So right now I don't mean to sound arrogant or whatever, but I mean, what else could I possibly do in the music business except for help other people?
I mean, at this point, you pretty much have done damn near everything.
I mean, what haven't I done? You know what I
What's
mean?
what's the
Like
motivation?
helping people. It's always been my motivation has always been do what's best for the music. Music is what saved my life. Music is what has always consistently been there when nothing else has been there for me. I can always find solace in music. And the artist that gave me those moments. I can connect a song to every important moment of my life.
Let me ask you this: what song helped you through the lowest point in your life?
Music and me.
Why? What was it about that song?
Well, one, it was rest in peace, Nate Dogg, one of my best friends. To have the honor, growing up is what they would call a white boy from Santa Barbara, and in the Vanilla Ice era, and to be told that you'll never make it in the music business, you'll never make it in hip hop. Haven't you ever heard of Vanilla Ice? This, that, and the other. And to be accepted by one of the greatest to ever do it, Nate Dogg, and then to co-write the the title track for his album with him, and also do Where I Want to Be and do all of those. But Music and Me, I mean it. I mean that was. I mean, if there was a close. You asked, when did you know you made it in the music business? Like personally, it was that situation. Professionally, it was Music and Me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every time that I feel like I haven't done something or, something's not going right, I always revert back to music in me. I go listen to music in me. And it reminds me of why I do it. The lyrics of that song and why it was so special to Nate and why it's even on his gravesite is it, it explained his relationship to music, everything that was important to him. So if you ever wanted to reset to a song, that would be it.
The label heads dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Any correlation to Diddy, or is it just random shit just happening?
Look, I think it's all relative. It's not because of the case. It's the music business is falling apart. You get 6 cents for an album. We used to get 9.99 an album, wholesale. So I mean, it's not making what they're saying it's making.
Okay.
So the record industry is crumbling. So when you don't have the money, you don't have the power, you don't get the respect. Do you see what I'm saying? So he can't buy his way out of things like he used to. He doesn't have the leverage that he once did of being the young hot motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So he can't get away with certain things. It's like even look at Jeffrey Epstein. Look at Harvey Weinstein. All you could say that even the Diddy thing is related to the Weinstein or the Me Too movement or anything. I think it's just a bunch of old guys that are getting older that
Yeah.
are losing touch with reality, that are doing these wild out shits, thinking they can still get away with this dumb shit. You know what I mean?
And
And
they
thinking they can
can't.
buy their way out of it. And it just doesn't work. I mean, even look at Trump. Trump was a damn president of the United States and can't fucking beat a case for a judge he even fucking appointed. You know what I mean? Like,
If I okay, let me ask. Is there a top three executive for you in history? Like, who's the best?
Clive Davis, of course, is the best to ever do it. Ahmet Ertegun is another one. And Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy. I mean, the number one would probably be Barry Gordy. Motown in its heyday.
Yeah, I'd have to
That
agree
was
with you.
how a record company should run.
And
You know, you
he set up everything as to what. Yeah, he put the blueprint.
well, I mean, artist development. No one did it like Barry Gordy.
Crazy,
PR. No one did it like Barry Gordy.
man.
I mean, all of that song producers and songs, and the biggest selling band of all time is the house band at Motown.
Are you serious?
Yes, go look it up.
I did not know that.
They played on more hit records than any other band in history.
Why do you
Marvin
know this
Gaye,
shit, man?
Jackson 5, Aretha Franklin, freaking, I mean,
Why do you know this?
because I'm a music fan first. That's why I'm so passionate about this. People that have nothing to do with music, that don't get hairs that stand up on their arm when they hear a song, are out there just extorting it for money. They've destroyed our music business.
Okay, somehow I'm running the world, and I've allowed you to be in charge of the music business. Give me the top three things you change immediately.
Well, first I'd gut the whole thing because 90% of the positions are created just to get your homies jobs, and their salaries are so freaking inflated, it's stupid. I would literally downsize the whole thing and start from scratch, find some
Okay.
really good artists and go back to what made us famous. In radio, the reason why I was always a very successful programmer is because I understood what the street was listening to, and I also understood my core market. And, in radio, there's an old saying, when you're being attacked or when you don't know what you're doing, strip down to your core and do what made you famous. Find some great artists, some great songs, record them right, develop that artist, and focus on one artist as opposed to chasing 300.
Okay, here's a question that I ask a lot on the show. It's the one question that's
Wait,
consistent
wait.
with me.
Let me just say this too. You can
Okay,
have one record that sells a million or a million records that sell one. Right now, they're focused on the million records that sell one
yeah.
that won't last in a catalog.
Man,
If
and
you
that's
focus
sad.
on the one that'll sell a million, it'll sell millions for the rest of the years to come.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think that this generation,
Quality over quantity, my
and
man.
I'm a fan of generations. It's hard to say that I've heard a song that people want to get married to, or that people want to have kids to, or that are at the cookouts or the family reunions. Like there is no this part of my life music.
People aren't writing songs anymore, my brother. They're writing verses.
Is it too late? Will we ever go
No,
back?
it's never too late, my brother. It's never too late. The problem is it's mentorship. That's the other thing that I've really been pushing on is no one's teaching these young people. Basically, these young people are figuring out how the box works or how Fruity Loops or how this works. Those were never meant to be commercially used. They were so that you could doodle in your room in your underwear. It wasn't That's not how records are professionally recorded. That's not how signal flow works. That's not how the game go. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, but I mean, if you look at like you go back to when they were doing reel to reels and shit like that, and then they moved to MPCs and they changed different recording for like it's got to advance, correct?
oh yeah. Look, the advantage. Look. Dre and I were the last two people in Los Angeles to move from tape to Pro Tools, and we protested it down to the very last day until they stopped making tape. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, but it had to get better. And you're never going to beat the sound of tape because there's something about magnetic particles. The vibe of the room was captured on the tape. But and you can't translate vibe to a 1 and 0. I mean,
Oh,
but
facts.
but you know what I mean? You can play live instruments, and at least, I mean, technology will always come. Like, I'm not against AI. I'm just against how they're using AI.
Okay.
People are lazy. They're looking for the quick way out and the fastest and the biggest return. I mean, it just doesn't. You can't have one without the other, bro.
Now I will say, Dr. Dre's music has aged better than any other artist in his era, and it is not close. Like, I don't know
And the
what the
biggest
fuck that
question
guy
that
was
these
hearing.
the
Go
biggest
ahead.
question that I'm asked by the young people is, why doesn't my shit sound like 2001? And I said, well, maybe you're recording the shit the wrong way.
What's the right way?
I mean, study it. Each person has to find it. I'm not going to sit here and just give you the formula. You have to learn. It's a process. Find out what studio you recorded at. Find out what boards in there. It's available on websites. Find out what equipment's in there. Go back and look at YouTube and interviews with the producers that were in the room. Instagram now these days, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Focus. You can reach out to Battlecat. You can reach out to any of the Melman. You can reach out to any of these people, Fred Reck, and they're approachable and say, hey, what was the drum machine that you used on blank blank? Was it to tape or was it to Pro Tools? Was it you ask the questions, you'll get the answers from these guys. Because in all honesty, all of us, if you're a real cat, then you're comfortable with your shit. So you don't mind sharing game. It's when you're faking the funk that you don't want nobody to see behind the curtain.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Michael Jackson comes back to life, says, I want to do another album, and I'm going to let you EP it. Who do you choose to produce it, and who do you choose as the engineer?
Well, Dave Way and Jean-Marie Horvat and Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley was and Rodney Jerkins, I mean, great producers. I mean, Devontae Swing, I mean, those kind of cats. I
Devontae
mean,
Swing, so underrated.
oh God, ever.
Oh my god! And one of the
But
few
but
people like
Dave
I've
Way and
heard.
Jean Marie Horvat were the two engineers that worked the most with Teddy Riley and Michael, and during the dangerous process. I mean, and they also, I mean, the next generation of that is the Jason Schweitzers of the world and the Tizos of the world. I mean, it's a collective. There'd be a lot of people that you'd bring in, you know?
Oh, and I'd be remiss if I do not mention my guy, the playmaker, man. If you have not
Oh
fucked
yeah,
with the
love that guy.
playmaker,
I love him.
yo, yo, that is my guy right
My
there,
brother,
man.
man.
Oh
Such a
my,
positive guy, man.
yo, and as far as promotions,
Oh,
man,
amazing.
oh, the dude is like, look, just go look the nigga up, man. I'm just had to throw that out there. So, are you gonna do a podcast or no?
I am gonna do the podcast. I want to find the right situation and team. I talked to Bootleg Kev about it the other day. Bootleg Kev and I were talking about him helping me put it together. But I'm also been talking to Michelle S. at Syracuse University, who's a professor there, and we're talking about doing something together. And Kool-Aid and I are talking about doing something together. And if everything that went down this morning continues down the path, then we'll have all of it together by maybe as soon as next week.
Totally unsolicited recommendation, Glasses Malone.
Oh, Glasses Malone is, I mean, one of the most underrated people on the West Coast.
That is my guy, and from a podcast that I've been telling him, man,
Yeah, he needs
you
to.
you are the fucking goat at that shit. Like he has really out there opinions
Yeah,
that make so much fucking sense.
yeah.
It is
And he's a
ridiculous.
great guy.
He is a phenomenally great guy.
Yeah.
Biggest
I've known him a
mistake you've
very
made.
long time.
Biggest mistake you've made.
That I've made?
Yes.
Being impatient in a lot of situations where I just wanted to go. I wasn't paying attention to, I mean, not stopping to smell the roses. You know what I mean? I mean, luckily I have not made a lot of mistakes to where they were catastrophic. I've made a lot of mistakes personally, just you know, getting drunk and saying the wrong thing, or like like any normal person would. You know what I mean? But we all make mistakes, but it's not the mistakes that you make; it's what you learn from them. And those mistakes. If I'm going to go down in a blaze of glory, at least I'm going to learn something from it. You know what I mean? And
So this is one like I think this is the one that I said I ask all the time. You're sitting on a park bench. God sits down next to you, and says you can ask me one question.
it's got to be more than this.
That's your question.
Yeah,
Is it more
it's
than
got to be
this?
more than this.
What do you think? Like are
What
we
do you mean?
like when you say it's got to be more than this? Like how?
Why is there so much negativity? Like, it's like, dude, everybody just, like I said, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants a hug. Everybody wants to collaborate. And we create these walls and we create these breakups to makeups. You know what I mean? It's all ego based. Whatever invented the ego, there's got to be more to it than this. You know what I mean? Like, what is the lesson here? You know what I mean? Like, the human experiment is just fascinating to me, because it's like, where did it all start? Like, what created the two particles that smashed together that banged? Something had to create those. What, I mean, from nothing, what became something?
And you know what's crazy? Like, I have some way out there views, but it's like, okay, what if we are the toys to
Yeah,
some huge thing out there, and we just like when I was a kid, I would play with magnifying glasses and ants.
yeah,
What if we are the ants?
yes.
Oh,
That's why now you're starting to understand why I said it's got to be more than this.
is it? How's the TikTok going? You close to 10,000, right?
Yeah, well, we just hit 10,000, and the first couple of videos went over 200,000, and now with the Instagram, I had my first video go over 1 million this last week, and we're doing about between 500,000 and a million almost a day.
So, so, so does it make you think about the numbers?
the only reason why I think about numbers is because I'm from radio and it's research. So I'm always looking at the demographics and the engagement and all of that kind of stuff because it's to me it's a radio. You know Instagram is Power 106 to me,
Okay.
and the things that I do are radio breaks.
Okay.
I'm a radio guy. I was a DJ my whole life. So when I hit the button, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Like someone will say something to me, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's something I can talk about." I'll hit the button, say whatever it is, and upload it. That's it. That's how much thought is put into it. I don't think about it. I don't research it. I don't write it down. I just say whatever's on my mind in the minute and 30 seconds that it gives me.
Okay. Biggest song that you broke?
Biggest song or biggest artist?
Both.
Eminem, as far as artist. Biggest song? That's tough, man. I mean, because there's been a lot of them. I mean, whether it's, Hi, My Name Is and The Real Slim Shady, or whether it's Still DRE, or whether it's Up in the Club.
I never liked that song.
I,
I'm like one of 6 people that didn't like that song because apparently the whole fucking planet liked that. I think Get Rich or Die Trying is absolutely one of the top 5 albums of hip hop of all time.
mhm.
It just was the Up in the Club shit just didn't do it for me.
It was a pop record. It was made for what it was made for. But
What's a
those drums, DJ Quick did those drums, and those drums snapped.
apparently they did something because your man's went crazy off of that song.
Yeah.
Perfect hip hop album.
But see, that's also the reason why it was a perfect hip hop album was you had Scott Storch, you had DJ Quick, you had Dr. Dre, you had Melman, you had Nephew, you had I mean, how many great minds were working on that album? You had Exhibit, you had Dr. Dre, you had DOC, you had Eminem, you had all of these great guys in the room. How could it not be one of the greatest albums ever?
What's a perfect hip hop album for you?
Probably the Marshall Mathers album.
Really?
Kill You was one of my favorite records ever. That and one of the best records I've ever like the cleanest record, the record that I love the most, my favorite song is To Live and Die in LA by Tupac. QD3, the way those guitars got put in, and I mean that record is just genius. With the singing and everything, it's just the all night long Mary Jane Girls drum type thing, or I mean it's a perfect record. That and California Love.
See, me personally, like perfect album, probably Doggy Style or Illmatic for me, and for polar opposite reasons. Illmatic literally captured New York, and Doggy Style captured so much of what LA was at that time.
Yeah, but you can say that about the Chronic too.
The Chronic just wasn't as perfect as Doggy Style. Like the Chronic prepared them for Doggy Style for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're talking about records like Doggy Dog World, and you're talking about records, I mean, really, if you stop and listen to Doggy Style, it's really NWA, uh, 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 Straight Outta Compton. I mean, if you really listen to, the style of it.
It's like the orchestra version.
Yes, yes. It's the evolved musical version of Straight Outta Compton.
Facts. And that's the beauty that's why I say as far as like the Chronic and Doggy Style, like the Chronic was like right there.
Yo, but All Eyes on Me was the perfect answer to Doggy Style.
Oh, there's a couple of songs on All Eyes on Me. I'm like, yeah, not gonna lie.
But it was a double CD set. If it was stripped down to 10 songs, it would have been.
That they should have done that.
It would have been. It would have sold so many goddamn copies.
Yeah, and greed deprived Pac of a classic to rival all classics.
Well, my personal theory on that is he wanted to get off death row as quickly as possible, and he could turn in 2 albums and do it in one shot. You know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on death row as a whole?
I think it holds an immense place or an iconic place in the history of rap music. I think that George Price, who was the PR guy who told the story of Death Row, which sold the whole thing, and I mean, I think that it was just genius how they did it. I'm not the hugest fan of Jimmy Iovine. Um, I think it. I mean, it's a classic story of coming from nothing, getting everything, and fucking it all off.
That's pretty much sums the shit up right there. And Jimmy Iovine was kind of like damn, what was the manager for Easy E? Oh, I can't remember.
Jerry Heller.
Jimmy Iovine was
Jerry Heller.
a smoother Jerry Heller.
Jerry Heller, Dr. Dre, both signed NWA flag. It's the only time you'll see Dr. Dre and Jerry Heller's signature next to each other.
That is that is crazy that you got both of them on
And
the
Dr.
signature.
Dre said that, and it says, Damien, fuck off, Dr. Dre, because he said, I have not seen my signature next to Jerry Heller's since I signed that fucked up contract. And you're asking me to sign something that Jerry Heller signed.
Yo, that is crazy.
And I didn't even think of it like that. I went, good point. He goes, no, I got you. And he just said to Damien, fuck off, Dr. Dre.
Does Easy get the credit for that he deserves?
He should. I think he's starting to, I mean, with the NWA movie and all of that. But generationally, I mean, you have to remember, no one was around to see his influence. You know, this generation is so fucking quick and fast and let me get my nut off and run. That,
although you know what, it's easy to blame this generation, but
it's not their fault. It's the fact that everything is being pushed at them disposably. There's no.
We didn't teach them enough.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is the mentorship is the whole idea of this platform. The whole idea, the whole message behind everything that I've said was not to point out the inefficiencies of the music business or how it's all fucked up. Is to just say, message, mentorship. But the problem is as things have gone to computers and gone to the box, the computer is not mentoring. It's not teaching. So you're learning all of these bad habits.
Yeah.
They don't know any better. It's not these young people's fault.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And
but they don't know how to they don't know how to approach a record company and say, hey, can you teach me how to do this right? And the record company people don't even know how to fuck do it anyway.
I think oftentimes we get a little frustrated too.
There was a CEO of a record company that I ran into the other day. And I was talking to his girlfriend. He had to go to the bathroom. And I was talking to his girlfriend. And I said, you know, what can you tell me about this person? And he said, well, he's always on the bottom during sex because all he can do is fuck up.
That comes from giving people jobs that went to school and didn't get schooled.
All of these guys who got bullied, you know, these, like, for instance, these cops that are beating on people that have authority issues and shit like that. I mean, that's the problem. These kids that weren't raised right, that, you know, got bullied and got angry and said, I'm going to pay everybody back for my bullshit or whatever it was. You know, the cowards of the world that don't want to stand up for themselves or couldn't stand up for themselves and now want to pay everybody back for it and be vindictive. That's the Donald Trump vibe of the world. That's what that is.
I mean, well, judging by the numbers you've been getting, people want something different.
Yes.
And you are bringing it in spades.
Well, thank you, brother.
And if nobody tells you today, man, I'm proud of you for doing that.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Is it too much? Is it too much of a request?
No, if I'm understanding the question correctly, I don't do this for anybody but myself. You know what I mean? It's like my diary. It's my, I mean, I literally am just sharing my day with people. In this music business, it's giving them a front row seat to what I'm seeing every day. If I'm going to Be Real TV, I take you with me. If I'm going to a meeting, I take you with me. If someone calls me up and says, hey, they let 150 people go today, I tell you about it. You know what I mean? I want people to understand how the music business really works, not as the way they see it on television or they see it in being described by people who aren't even in the music business. I mean, a lot of the people that teach music business in these colleges and shit like that learned from a book. They didn't learn from experience. How are you an expert in the music business if you never, the reason why I did beats, the reason why I rapped, the reason why I did radio, the reason why I did records, the reason why I did all of it was because I never wanted anyone to ever be able to say to me, you don't know because you never did blank. You don't know what you're talking about because you never did blank. There is nothing in this business that you can tell me because I've done every job there is from the mailroom to the CEO position. I've done it all.
So when
So
people, I know people that are getting fired are giving you a call. Biggest gripe they're telling you about.
just that, I mean, they're getting fired over numbers that they have. I mean, the biggest gripe is there's these, for instance, there's these CEOs that are making $365 million, okay, for beating for beating their numbers that quarter for that quarter, but they fired half the staff to do it, and then getting a $300 million bonus for it. Where if you weren't going to get the $300 million bonus and you just did your fucking job and got your $300 million salary that you're already getting, you wouldn't have to make all of those cuts. But for one selfish CEO to get a $300 million bonus or whatever the fuck it is, they're cutting out half the staff. But what they don't realize is by cutting half that staff, how are you going to make your next quarter?
But they don't care. It's $300 million in the bank.
Yep. And they're not going to be there after that. They've made their 600 million over 2 years, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm done."
It's hard to argue with $600 million over 2 years.
For one person, but look what you destroyed to do it. That shows me that you're a CEO. You don't care about the music.
Yeah.
Where back in the day, Barry Gordy, is it about the music or the money? It's about the music, and then it'll make money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you go back to the old executives, Valazzoli and Polly Anthony, or even Jimmy when he started out. He started out for the right reasons. He's making records with John Lennon. You know what I mean? Like, as a producer, Rattle and Hum by U2, like, those type of things. Look, you said the thing about Dre. The reason why Dre stands the test of time is he's never done a record for money. He's doing it for the Sonics and for that very reason. So that 50 years from now, you can listen to that and it'll still be timeless.
Yeah. And that guy makes, oh my God.
Go listen to a Queen album. Go listen to Elton John. Go listen to, Guns N' Roses. Go listen to Nirvana.
You know who I listen to? Tina Marie.
Tina Marie, Rick James.
Oh my God.
Incredible records.
Beautiful music, beautiful songwriting, beautiful musicianship, and the quality of recording.
Yeah.
Crazy for something back in this fucking 70s, early 80s.
Well, and that's the thing is back then we would strive to be, it was a contest. We would strive to be good at what we did. Now it's like, fuck it, I'm a star. Whatever I do is going to be dope. So I'll sit here and yodel, I'll fart on a record. When I look, I have nothing against Ice Spice, but when I'm sitting to talk about farts on records, I'm like sitting there going like, bro, You the shit. You think you the shit. You're not even a fart. I was like,
Yeah, that part. And I like my mother was very progressive with music. Like she bought me my first rap album, The Fat Boys. She was never one of those, oh, rap is horrible, don't do this. And I've tried to carry on that tradition, but every once in a while I catch myself and some of these artists, man.
well, look, I mean, it's funny because even with the old rock guys, I remember when I started working like with some of the old rock guys, like the bass player for Neil Young, the drummer from Tom Petty and the
Mm-hmm.
Heartbreakers, J.R. Robinson, who worked with Quincy Jones for years, was a great friend and or is a great friend, and and just getting around those old rock guys. Some of the old rock guys, they were like, you do that rap shit, that black shit, blah blah blah, all this kind of shit. And one day I looked back at one of them and I said, you're starting to sound like your parents with Elvis.
Yeah.
And they went and they caught themselves and they're like, well, okay, wait a minute. Send me a record. So I'd send them all Dear Mama.
Mm.
And all of them called back and said, I need more of that. Send
Yeah.
me more of that.
That was the genius of Pac, is that Pac could capture your soul.
Yeah.
And
But
that's what music is
but how
about.
you look at it, like for instance, I don't want to sound like one of those old guys when it comes to an Ice Spice. Great, drill music, whatever, whatever. But I'm saying we have to have a balance.
Yeah.
There has to be the Tupac Dear Mamas, but
Yeah.
yeah, there can be the farts. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's room for everybody. As long as you're creative and you're making something that connects with someone, then you're doing the right thing. You
Like
know?
there's a song oh, what is old boy's name? He made this song called Chicago Legends. And it was about giving respect to he was in one gang and giving respect to all the legends of gangs in Chicago. And even though and I shouldn't be a drill music fan, I'm completely a drill music fan. But it was such a beautiful way of showing almost a reverent, almost a warlike reverence to everybody. That
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, Duck, FBG Duck, that was his name.
You know, when you say stuff like that, it also reminds me of like working with Jim Brown and Harry Belafonte and James Ingram and those guys,
Hmm.
rest in peace. Because when you it's like, we were talking about the death row thing, you
Hmm.
make some success and you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Those guys, when I hit the plethora at Power 106 and Hot, and we had those successes, those
Hmm.
were the guys that pulled me aside and said, hey, young fella, now you've got to use that for good. Now you've got to switch this into the mentorship gears.
Hmm.
And that's what's missing is the elders that have enough respect with these young people to pull them aside and be like, hey, bro, this is how you really do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all that I'm really trying to be at the end of the day is the big homie to these little kids, these young, not the little kids, but the young rappers, producers that are coming up that want to find that door. I kind of feel like I'm just the gate between the two things. Like I have enough respect from the elders to where I can walk into any meeting. No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, what can fucking the chairman of Universal say to me? He was my fucking local in Santa Barbara. I mean, when I was in Santa Barbara at 15 years old, Monty Littman was trying to get me to play records. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I say something, what the fuck is he gonna say to me?
I think that's enough said right there.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what, you're gonna argue with me? Like, I'm telling the truth, and you're bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to be that doorway. I want why aren't there young artists and producers that Monty and Avery are mentoring and instead of just squeezing the heck out of these freaking Spotify fake bot streams. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
And I will say that I think you are that gateway.
And I'm happy to do it.
And we appreciate you for.
Thank you.
I can't speak for the world. I can say I appreciate you.
Well,
You,
I'm so blessed to be surrounded by the people that I am to keep me in the reality of what we're doing.
Yo, and if there's anything possible that I could ever do for you, don't hesitate to ask. And I got
Vice
you.
versa, my brother.
I truly, truly, truly appreciate you stopping
Thank
by the
you, sir.
platform. You have a phenomenal day on purpose, bro.
Thank you. It was an honor being here.
Oh, it was an honor talking to you, man. Have a good one.
We'll talk again soon.
Peace. Y'all already know, man. This is Jobs. This has been another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio. We're not fucking around over here, man. Y'all get gets. We just have regular interviews. Anyway, on that note, I'll see y'all next week. I think at 4 o'clock, I got Amani coming on. 5. We got 3 interviews next week, Thursday. Well, because I fucking can. Anyway, on that note, we out.